So
Right, I'm at a trained level this time, yeah?
okay.
I've got a test coming up in 4 weeks' time. Yeah, so we're not enrolled yet.
No, okay.
So I've got a test in 4 weeks' time. Last week we looked at what? We looked at hesitancy, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah? This time I'd like to look at progress.
Okay. Speed.
Yeah. So, do you understand what we're looking at?
You travelling with progress, i.e. keeping up with traffic and speed and not driving too slowly. Is that potentially what you mean?
Is it only driving too slowly?
Or too fast?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so you ready to go and roll?
Yeah.
I see you got your seatbelt on already.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah?
Yes, it's habit.
Right, so I'll hand over to you.
Okay.
I think you know the drill, so...
Yeah. Okay, so Tony, you've got a test in 4 weeks.
I have, yeah.
And how do you feel with everything that's been going so far? And the lesson last week, what did we do last week? Can you remember?
We were doing that hesitancy thing.
Hesitancy. So hesitating too long at junctions or roundabouts. And
Yeah.
how do you feel that you did with that?
I done well.
You did do well. It was much better by the end of the lesson,
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was, yeah.
It was doing really well.
Yeah.
So what about today if we do work on progress?
I just let it roll for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about your progress last week?
Okay, how did you feel about your progress last week?
You whinged a bit at me, didn't you?
I did whinge a little bit at you.
I was either going too fast in some places, but I never broke the speed limit, or I was going too slow.
Yeah. So what's the dangers of going too slow or too fast? Let's do the too slow first. What are the dangers of going too slow in the speed limits that are set?
Well, you said that I'd be holding people up and frustrating them.
You wouldn't. And what would that cause them to do?
Well, they can overtake me.
They're going to overtake you, but potentially they're also going to overtake you in dangerous places because they're desperate to get past.
Oh, is that the reason why?
Okay. And what are the dangers of driving too fast?
Well, I kept to the speed limit.
You kept to the speed
Yeah.
limit.
When we went down a road similar to this with parked cars on both sides of the road, I was only doing 30 mile an hour, and that was the speed limit.
Well, it is the speed limit, but what's the dangers of doing the speed limit at all times? Can you think of reasons when you can't do the speed limit as to why you shouldn't?
I had a bit of a job stopping when that car moved away, didn't I?
You had a bit of a job stopping when the car moved away. Also, what about if you were coming around bends and there's parked cars? Should you be doing the speed limit then?
I suppose not, no.
Can you see ahead of you at all times if there's obstructions on the way and parked cars?
No.
No, exactly.
I'll try and look under, through and over them.
But potentially it would mean that you wouldn't be able to stop in time. If
I
there was
suppose so,
anything,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to necessarily
Yeah.
stop in time. What about roads where there are speed humps and it's 30 miles an hour? What speed should you be doing then?
I was doing 30 and then braking, wasn't I?
You were doing 30 and braking, so what should you be doing? What's the reason for the road humps? What are they there for?
I think you called them traffic calmers, didn't you?
Traffic calmers, yes. So what's the reason what does that mean?
It's to keep the traffic under control a bit, and the speed of the traffic under control.
It is. They're specifically to make you slow down because they feel that the area that you're in,
Yeah, but everybody drives really fast between them and then brakes.
just because everybody else does doesn't mean so you should.
No.
Okay, so don't copy what everybody else is doing because they're not necessarily going to be right, are they?
No.
So you should be driving within the boundaries that you think are safe.
Oh.
And what speed should you aim to do where there are traffic calmers?
At 20?
About 20, yes. Okay. 1 for your car and 2 for everything else around you.
Sorry?
Or the other way around. 1 for everything that's around you so that you can stop and slow in time. But 2, is it going to do your car any good going over humps at full speed? traffic calmers?
Well,
Or your passengers?
well, I'm sure you can get the money you're charging, you can get the car repaired, can you?
But when it's your car, you're the one that's got to get it repaired.
Oh, I'm going to buy an old banger, I'm not going to worry about it.
Is that right? Okay. Well, maybe you should still think about doing a slower speed regardless of the car. Okay?
Yeah.
All right then. So, would you like to set yourself up?
Oh,
Do you think
yeah,
you're ready to go?
Do that dism thing, innit?
Okay. What about your mirrors?
You in a hurry?
Always in a hurry.
Yeah, all done.
All done?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think you're ready to set off? So, what are we working on again today? In this lesson?
Progress?
Progress. Either too much or lack of.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you're ready?
Just let it roll.
Mm-hmm.
Are you forgetting anything? Or are you forgetting quite a bit?
What? Turn the engine on. Responsibility.
Responsibility and what kind of level of instruction you got to come in with?
Okay, right, so the instruction Tony today. So how do you feel about me giving you help? Do you want help to start with? Do you feel that you're okay? Would you like me to prompt you? Or do you feel that you'd like to try it on
Just
your
let it
own?
roll. Go back to last week's lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? How do I feel about my progress on last week's lesson?
Your numbers?
Yeah.
I thought we'd done that. Did we not do that already? You said you were 7.
This is a different lesson now, isn't it?
Alright, okay. Fine. Okay, so how do you feel on your progress of last week's lesson?
In what way?
Well, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being bad, 10 being excellent, how do you feel that you did? Where would you put yourself? Bearing in mind I whinged a little bit.
A bit. Yeah, you broke me quite a bit as well, didn't you?
I did a little bit, yes.
And a bit of shouting at me. Or was it screaming?
I never shout or
I'll say
scream.
about 4.5.
About 4.5. So where would
Yeah.
you like to be today?
That'd be a 10. Got my test coming up in 4.5.
I'd like
4
you to
weeks'
be
time.
at 10 as well. So I don't want to have to whinge and I don't want to have to shout. Okay?
Yeah.
All right then. So let's see how we get on. So what about me helping you? Would you like any help or prompting?
Yeah, because you give me prompts.
I'll give you prompts to start with, and then when we feel that you're doing it, if it's progressing well and you're doing a lot better, we'll see if you're happy to do that on your own. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you're all set up, you've done your mirrors
Yeah,
and
I
everything,
have, yeah.
so do you want to start the engine and do your checks?
What was that thing we talked about last week?
Responsibility
Oh,
of everyone in the car.
responsibility, yeah, yeah.
Yes, so I forgot we're at the start of the lessons. So who's responsible for everything in the car, Tony? All your passengers.
It's
and
the only
everything.
responsibility I get in my whole life, so I am.
You are, so
I'm
you're responsible for all
everybody
of us.
inside the car,
And what about outside the car?
every other road user,
Every other road user, okay.
even pigeons.
Even pigeons
Yeah.
and pedestrians, everyone, isn't it?
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's it, isn't it? Do I have to talk about the way to get in the car? Dispersion of weight, I don't, do I?
Yeah. Have you got your seatbelt on?
I've got my seatbelt on. Nice and straight. Have you got your seatbelt on, your passenger?
Yeah, he has, yeah. And he's got his head restraint adjusted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah? You've got your seatbelt on?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else have I forgotten?
I've never carried a passenger before, have I?
No, you haven't. Now, what's different about our journey today, Tony?
Hey, you brought your boyfriend along.
I brought my boyfriend along. I have. So he wants to observe your lesson. So how's that going to make a difference to you driving today?
When I look in the mirror, I can't see quite as much as what I normally can.
No. Does that mean he's in the way of your mirror?
Sorry?
Because he's sitting in the back there.
Yeah, I'll have to move my head a bit around, won't
Okay. What else?
I? Would it make a difference pulling away, especially on a hill? I might have to give it more gas.
you're going to have a heavier weight in the car, aren't you? So the whole car is
That's
heavier,
what I said,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what about pulling away? So for pulling away, you might have to use a little bit more.
That's what I said, yeah.
And what about slowing down and stopping?
Brake harder.
No. You don't need to brake harder, do you? Hopefully not, anyway. What should you do instead of brake harder?
Brake lighter.
No, because then we will hit something. So what else should you do?
I'm lost.
Have a think about it. So what about using your mirrors earlier and braking earlier?
Oh,
So you check
earlier.
in, you make
Oh,
sure
right.
you're checking in
That
your
makes
central
sense,
mirrors
yeah.
at all times.
That makes sense, yeah.
So how does that make a difference if you brake earlier?
It makes up for the extra weight, and the car will slow down and stop easier.
Not necessarily. What about the traffic behind you? What's it doing? For braking earlier.
It gives them a warning, doesn't it?
You're giving them a warning that you're braking. So they might think, why are they braking so early? But that's their decision. So they're being forced to slow down with you, aren't they?
Well, I'm
So
not going to brake massively earlier, am I?
Not massively, but enough so that you can stop progressively without stomping on your brakes at the
That's a
last
good word.
minute. Progressively.
Yes,
Without stomping on your brakes at the last minute.
yeah, I'll Google that when I go home.
Okay, what does progressively mean?
Oh, yeah. Thickness of pound coin, not a thickness of pound coin.
That's it. So
not a
you can
thickness
brake
of pound
nice
coin.
and steadily and come to a
Yeah.
smooth stop,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Are you happy with that?
yeah.
All right then. So, would you like to do your final checks and Will? Am I going to
On my
ask
motorbike,
anything out? Oh, here we go. Well, that bends.
Yeah, it does make a difference on bends on my motorbike.
It makes a difference on bends. So how does it make a difference on your bends?
It kind of makes it lean over and scrape the ground a bit easier when I have somebody on the back.
So what does it necessarily mean in the car?
Might the car lean a bit more to the left?
It could lean a little bit more, couldn't it? And
Yeah.
swerve out. So what should you do then going around bends?
Ask him to sit in the middle.
You could ask him to sit in the middle. What else could you do?
Just bear that in mind.
Bear that in mind and maybe take the bends a little bit slower?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're happy with all that?
Yeah, shall I drive on? Does this cost me £50 an hour?
So if you'd like to set yourself up, start the engine.
Stop laughing at me.
I'm not
I've done
laughing at
you wrong,
you,
yeah?
I'm laughing at me. Okay. Wait, stop. Okay, what do you need to check?
Oh, sorry, the blind spot, yeah.
Okay.
And just get me to stop on the left, just past the... so I'm not opposite the car.
Okay, so would you like to pull over and just stop on the left? That's it.
Out of roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I missed the blind spot. You mentioned it.
Mm.
Did you try and get me to analyse it?
No, I didn't say why do you need to do that, did I?
Yeah.
I just made you do it.
Yeah. Am I going
Okay.
to learn from that?
No, because I just make you do it every time, so...
If I probably have about 500 lessons, I might do it.
Yeah.
Repetition, but am I going to do it my own after I pass my driving test?
Maybe
Probably
not,
not.
because I'm not there to prompt you, so...
Probably definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. So why do you need to check over your blind spot?
Well, I thought your mirrors covered everything.
So if you're looking in your mirrors, what can you see in your door mirror? Your right door mirror.
I can see that Toyota behind me on the right hand side.
Which Toyota? The red one?
Yeah.
Now, can you see anything else? Can you see another car in your mirror?
No.
Can you see the silver Toyota?
No.
So now if you turn around and look over your blind spot, tell me what you can see now.
Oh, I can see that house, number 14.
Yep.
Oh, and I see the silver Toyota. They're very popular, aren't they?
They're very popular around
Yeah.
here, but you couldn't see them in your door mirror, could you?
No.
So what's the dangers of not looking over your shoulder then?
I suppose they could have reversed out.
They could have reversed out,
I
someone could
wouldn't
have
say-
walked out, someone could have
Oh,
stepped on
right.
anything, and you wouldn't know they're there, would you? You wouldn't see it.
That'll help me to remember in future.
So in future, you always check your blind spot before you move off. Okay, good. So I'd like you to slow down, please, Tony.
Slow down.
I didn't say stop. I said I'd like you to ease off
I
the
am.
gas a little bit and
I'm
slow
down.
down.
I'm down to 10 miles an
Right, okay. So what's the speed down here?
hour. 30, that's what I was getting up to.
It is 30, but what's the dangers of doing 30 down here?
It's the speed limit.
you have parked cars,
Right to the end.
and so I'd like you to go right to the end. So could you see?
You mean turn right?
I'd like you to turn right at the end. So could you see that clearly to be doing 30 down there, Tony?
Okay.
You thought that was okay?
So I need to be doing about 5.
So what was the discussion we had earlier about the dangers of doing the speed limit in a built-up area?
Oh yeah, last week, yeah, that car pulled out in front of me, didn't it?
The car pulled out in front of you. So what would have been a sensible speed to use there? We're on the corner.
Sorry?
Yeah, go on.
No, we're not on the corner. Have you got a mirror there?
Oh, we have got a mirror, but last time you told me that I had to pull over and stop you and not sit at the
No.
junction.
The reason why I said not sit at the junction was because I was halfway out into the junction, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? Like, the buses around here are due 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, what did you say to me?
I asked you to slow down.
Yeah. So I'm a learner.
Yep.
I'm a real learner. Treat me as such, yeah? If you say to me speed up and I floor it, I could be doing 60 in a matter of seconds, yeah?
Yep.
If you say to me slow down,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really give me a slap afterwards for slowing down to 5 mile an hour, yeah?
Yep.
So how can you be more specific?
I want you to ease off the gas a little
No.
bit. No.
What speed did you want me doing?
20.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Okay.
Sorry?
Oh, I can see it now. So
You didn't even need to see it, you could feel it.
I could feel it, exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah, so wouldn't that have been a lot safer?
could you slow down to 20, please?
Yeah.
Okay. It would
Driver?
help, wouldn't it?
But,
Okay, so that's much better. You see the difference?
yeah, they're about 22, 23.
Good. And how does that improve things? How do you feel that's better than you were before? For what reasons?
I feel a bit more under control.
More under control, exactly, of everything, isn't it? Okay, good.
End left.
At the end of the road, I'd like you to turn left.
End left, roundabout right.
At the end, turn left, please, and then at the roundabout, turn right.
Just make sure you remind me of the second instruction after the turn,
The
yeah?
roundabout, yeah. Okay. Okay, at the roundabout, which direction are you going?
I can't remember.
Right.
Right. Don't bloody indicate, did I?
No, they don't, but is that your problem?
Sorry?
So should you be... What, should you let that affect you if they don't indicate? What have you got to do if they don't indicate? You don't know where they're going?
I was going to stop.
Yeah? So that's... Because if they don't indicate...
Yeah, but it just frustrates me.
It doesn't matter if they frustrate you, you just have to stay calm. Don't let it bother you.
Breathe.
Just take a breath, yes. And you wait to see where they're going to go if they don't.
I didn't have a clue where he's going. He was pointing straight on, wasn't he?
Exactly. So you stop and wait and see where he does go.
I should have given him a finger.
You should definitely not do anything.
Yeah.
When you've got to know, and when you've got a chance, Tony, I think we need to pull over and stop. When you find a safe place, just up ahead here.
Done something wrong again, have I?
Well, you might have done a little something wrong. Okay. So why do you think I've asked you to stop, Tony?
To give me praise.
To give you praise? No, not really. So maybe I might have my whingy
Yes,
face
you have.
off it.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Yeah. You ever heard of a poo sandwich?
So,
Yeah?
praise you the way you took the roundabout. You did very well at the roundabout.
No, how did I do on the,
The speed leading up to the roundabout.
yeah.
So your progress was really
on
good.
the road with the parked cars, how did I do?
You did really well.
Yeah, nice bit of praise, isn't it?
So we have a nice bit of praise. So that up until the roundabout, Tony, you did really well. I was very pleased with the speed. You were judging the road much
Yeah.
better. Why do you think I've pulled you over?
I don't know why you pulled me over.
So have a think about the roundabout. Now you said he didn't indicate at all.
He didn't.
No, he didn't. So, what should you do if the car doesn't indicate at the roundabout?
I was going to stop because he looked like he was going straight on.
Exactly, you should stop. And then when you saw he turned left, you can carry on, can't you, when it's safe to do so?
Yeah.
Should that bother you, that he didn't indicate?
I think it bothers everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what's going to happen if you get agitated about something like that and potentially give him the finger?
Well, I suppose he might turn around and go back and beat you up.
He might do. So, first thing is you're going to have a raised blood pressure
Yeah.
and start driving aggressively. And two, you could end up, yes, with potential road rage. So, do you think that's a good idea to have?
No.
No, it's not. So what are you going to do in future if someone does that?
I think I might give up driving. I can't drink the night before. I can't have a spliff, and I can't even lose my temper.
You can't do any of those
No.
things, so you have to drive nice and calm so you're safe and everybody else around you is safe
So I
too.
say, there for the grace of God, go away. Yeah.
Yeah,
I suppose I make mistakes, don't I?
yeah. And don't go. And everybody wants to do that, but what does it potentially get if every if every road user got cross when other people don't do things? What's that going to result on the roads?
Chaos.
Total chaos.
Yeah.
So are you going to stay calmer in future?
Well,
Okay. Okay, so when you're ready, if you'd like to do your checks.
that was good. Well, remember to check the blind spot,
It
wasn't it?
was good that you remembered to check the
And
last one.
turning
Well
left.
done. I'd like you to turn left at the roundabout. So what should you be doing as you approach the roundabout?
Sorry? Oh, I've got problems there.
No,
Oh.
I'm just asking you so that, reminding you.
You gave me 10 on that last week.
I did give you 10 on that last week. Why is that one a hard roundabout? It's a difficult roundabout to do?
It's kind of closed, isn't it?
It's a closed roundabout. You can't see very well, can you?
Oh, yeah, it's a big problem.
Good. Very good. Much better speed. Okay, well done, excellent.
Roundabout left.
So at the roundabout at the end, I'd like you to turn left. So, as you turn around the roundabout there, what happened to the steering? Why do you
I
think?
don't know.
So what do you think could cause that?
I don't know what happened.
Maybe you should come out just a little bit slower and you'll keep more control.
Oh, is it?
Okay? So next roundabout or the next turning, try to approach it just a little bit slower as you come off. So turn right at the roundabout here, please, Tony. What should you be doing as you come around it?
Go slower.
Going slower, good. And what's the advantage of going slower? Okay, so when you're ready, I'd like you to, when we have a safe place, go further down the road, not here, because we've got a bend. I'd like you
You can
to
talk about it.
talk about it on the move. Can I? So what was the problem with that roundabout then, Tony?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're still coming out of the roundabout. You go into the roundabout nice and slow. What about coming out of the roundabout?
I don't know what's happening.
So
Am I not steering quick enough?
so you're not steering quick enough. But what causes that?
I don't know.
You need to be going slower, don't you, as you come out of the roundabout?
You need to look at my hands, my eyes, my hands and my feet, yeah? What did I do halfway through both roundabouts there?
What's your hand?
No, I changed gear.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
And what was the danger of that, Tony?
And what's the danger of changing gear around the roundabout, Tony?
Well, I found I can't multitask very well. I nearly ended up on the wrong side of the road both times.
Exactly, because you couldn't concentrate on your steering,
Yeah.
could you? So what should you do in a roundabout instead of...
Shall I wait till the wheel is straight?
I think you should wait till the wheel is straight, yes. So don't change gear until you've come out of the roundabout.
Just out of road. How come you took it such a long time to spot that?
Because I was being a bit of an idiot, really, wasn't I?
Shall I tell you why?
Yes.
Because I remember on the part 2, you're in the habit of doing it yourself, yeah?
I do it
And
myself.
I did remind you at the time that you'll have an awful job of spotting that in part 3, yeah?
Yep. I still do it. That was a checkmate, wasn't it?
Speed limit still 30.
Okay. I don't know because I was too busy talking to you, so I didn't check.
Oh,
So what's the speed limit down here, Tony?
40.
40, good. So what speed are you doing?
30.
So what do you think is a good speed to do down here?
30.
30, why is that?
Safe. I'm not in a hurry. It's a really nice day. Like a Sunday drive, isn't it?
You're not in a hurry, but do you think you could be doing just a little bit more? What's the speed limit now?
I'm doing 31 now.
You're doing 30. What is the speed limit now, Tony?
Oh, I think it might be 50.
What did that white circle with a black line across it mean?
50.
It means 60. So you're still doing 33.
Yeah.
What's that going to do to the drivers behind you?
Faster.
So you need to go a bit faster.
I'm pressing really hard, but it's not going any faster.
So do you think
Try 60.
sixth gear?
It's not going any faster.
So do you think you should reduce your gears down, Tony? What's
Down to where?
So what about down to third? Okay, there. Okay. Okay. So what speed do you want to aim to be doing down here?
I was trying to do 60, but I want to see a 30, so I'm going up ahead.
So what should you do now?
I didn't think the speed limit was a target.
The speed limit isn't a target, but it also is there for a reason, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not in a hurry. I've got a 2-hour lesson today. I'm turning
So,
right.
if you'd like to turn right. You've got a 2-hour lesson today, but
Yeah.
you're not in a hurry.
I'm not in a hurry, no.
What about everybody else behind you then?
Sorry?
What about everybody else?
They can overtake me, can they?
Well, they couldn't on that road, could they?
Sorry?
They can't on that road.
Why not?
So what are the reasons why they can't overtake on that road? Do you think we should pull over in a safe place?
I can talk on this one.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the reasons? Why can't someone overtake you on that road?
Well, there's a couple of straight bits there they could have got past me.
Not very long straight bits though, are they?
No.
So they didn't really have much of a chance to overtake you, did they, before they would be in a blind bend?
Yeah, I suppose it's just had to wait behind me, wouldn't
So they would have to wait behind you and get very frustrated. So I know it's 60. Doesn't necessarily mean it's safe to be doing 60, but what speed could you potentially have been doing there that would be safe?
I suppose I could have done 45, 50.
You could have done 45, 50, couldn't you? So on the straight bits, you
And
could
we're
be
going to
doing...
turn left.
So if you'd like to turn left at the end, the straight bits you could be doing 50, and then what happens at the bends, you could potentially do what? That's much better.
Yeah, I didn't need to indicate there, did I? Because there's nobody around, is there?
You did need to indicate.
Did I?
Yeah.
You didn't say anything, so I thought I was okay.
I didn't say anything, no.
Sorry?
I didn't say anything, no, because I was too busy thinking about the other thing.
I always know when the indicator's on.
How do you know when the indicator's
I
on?
hear that clicking sound.
You hear
and I
that
see
click?
green arrows on the dashboard.
You'd see green arrows, so why didn't you do it then?
Sorry?
So you didn't do it,
I didn't
did
see
you?
anybody around to signal to.
So does that mean you don't signal at all?
I thought I'd save your bulbs.
Okay, so who would have benefited? No, that's not right there either, is it? So there was no one to benefit from you signalling, was there?
I suppose as I came round the corner there could have been a pedestrian waiting to cross the road, I suppose.
There could, couldn't there?
And we're going to turn left.
And we're going to turn left.
Shall I indicate?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, because he'll benefit, won't he?
They'll all benefit, yeah.
Oh, I can hear that clicking sound. Look, can you hear it?
I can hear it, yes. My hearing's come back.
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit deaf for a minute.
Yeah, I know Specsavers do hearing aids now as well.
I better go and get one.
I get two just in case.
Make sure it's got maximum volume.
I could do 30 along here, couldn't I?
Yes, you could. So what about up here?
It's just slow for some reason.
And what's it been slow for? Why is it saying slow?
I haven't got a clue.
You haven't got a clue.
No.
So what about the blind bends coming up and all the parked cars? So there's lots of obstructions up here, aren't there?
A lot of driveways.
There's a lot of driveways, a lot of parked cars, and there's bends. Can you see around those bends as well?
What bends?
Well, there's a bend at the end.
That's miles away, isn't
Does that stop you looking up there?
it? Yeah, I'm looking well up there.
So what's the benefits of looking a long way ahead?
See more.
You see
a bit
more.
earlier.
So everything from the end of your vision to you, the car you're taking. So where should you be looking now?
Down the road.
Okay. And what's the speed limit here, Tony?
50.
60.
Oh, 60.
Remember, it's 60 national speed limit. So let's see if we can go a little bit quicker. So why don't you aim to do your 45? That's it. Don't have to do it all at once. Just nice and steady.
I'll do 45.
Okay, good. Do you feel happy with that speed?
Right?
Do you feel happy? You feel in control?
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel you're holding anybody up? So do you feel you could do a little bit quicker?
Right?
Do you feel that you're going a little bit quicker?
Yeah.
So let's try 50, shall we?
Get a bit nervous now.
Getting a bit nervous, okay, so there's a bend, so just ease off your accelerator and it will slow down a little bit.
Up to 40 minutes.
There you go. So perfect, because you were nicely 40 as you came out the bend there, weren't
I
you?
don't know what's in these road signs though.
Why do you think that would be?
I'm looking well ahead.
You're looking well ahead.
Would it help if I called them out loud?
It would do, you could talk all the way. Do you want to do a commentary when you see a speed limit?
Yeah, I could do
Okay. So why do you think it's reduced to 40 round here? Instead of 60?
that. There's a lot of these side roads, isn't there?
There are, and they're,
30.
and they're all,
30.
and they're 30, good. So there's a lot of side roads, but there's also a lot of blind bends, aren't there? And a lot of these turnings
Oh,
are
look,
on the
they're turning
blind,
right on the bend, yeah.
right on the bend, that's
Oh, I get
exactly
that.
why it's slower. Good, well noticed.
Roundabout, we're going to turn left.
When you come to the roundabout, Tony, I'd like you to turn left.
First exit.
It's the first exit.
Not getting any better, am
You are getting better. Why do you say you're not getting any better?
I? Sorry?
What makes you think you're not getting any better?
We told all the time, haven't
Well,
we? You know, I even though you pay the examiner £62, I don't think he's going to tell me anything, is he?
no, he's not going to tell you anything. So, let's... so first exit, good. Okay, good.
Does that mean
What does it mean?
compulsory maximum?
Do you think it's a compulsory maximum?
No, I don't think it is.
Why? What's
It's not a round sign, is it?
Exactly, it's on a round sign. So it's suggestive, isn't it? It's saying that it would be safer to do 20.
And turning right.
Turning right at the roundabout.
And then if you get me to stop just before that next car on the left down there.
And could you stop just before you reach that car on the left, please?
Don't worry
Tony?
about the driveways.
Don't worry about the driveways.
Yeah, I don't feel I'm doing any better.
You don't think you're doing any better?
No.
I think you are.
Yeah, but you won't be there on the day of my test, will you?
No,
And
so...
you won't be there after I pass my
So,
test.
just towards the end there, we said, what about calling out all the signs, the speed limits? So do you think that helped you when you saw the speed limit, you had to say it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It does. So think of your speed limits as they're the maximum you can go, but they're also, it doesn't mean to say you have to do the maximum, does it? You have to do what's safe for the conditions.
Is it called appropriate?
Appropriate speed.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, right.
So the appropriate
yeah,
speed for the
you're
conditions.
full of big words today, aren't you?
So what's the appropriate speed? When in that country road that was 60 there, was it appropriate to do 60?
In places, yeah.
In places,
Yeah,
exactly, the straight bits.
Yeah.
So then what happens when you get towards, you can see the bend coming up further ahead, what should you do then?
I have to be able to stop in the distance I can see to be
You
safe.
do. So you just,
On my own side of the road.
on your own side of
Yeah.
the road, exactly. So that's quite a long way, isn't it, on
Yeah.
those 60? So on the straight bit's fine. So then if you can see the bend approaching up in the distance, what should
Yeah.
you do as you start to approach the bend?
Well, I always check my mirrors first and then slow down.
And slow down, exactly.
And change the appropriate gear.
So you change the appropriate gear. So what happened when you were in a too high gear? When you tried to speed up and you said you were in gear 6.
I realised what I'd done wrong there. It was just too high a gear.
So, but why did the car not go faster in high gear?
I remember from my first lesson, the higher the gear you're in, you've got more speed but less power. Like first gear is very powerful, but it runs out of speed very quickly, and so on, so on.
So first gear is great for starting, is it? Because it
Yeah,
cools the engine.
yeah.
And as you go up the speeds, you go up the gears.
Yeah.
But that also means if you're in a high gear, you don't have the acceleration, do you? No matter how hard you press on that
Yeah.
pedal. So you have to go down a gear, or 2 in your case, or 3, in order to go up the speed.
Yeah. So shall I move my test?
No. Why do you think you should move your test?
Well, because I'm still going to be told what to do, aren't I?
Yeah, so do you not what's going to be the best thing to avoid that? How are we going to get
I
through
don't
that for
know.
your test?
That's why I'm paying you £50 an hour.
Well, what about more practice? Could we not fit the odd extra lesson in?
What about shared responsibility?
What about shared responsibility? So now, what about if we go now and you try and make the decisions for the speed? Are you happy to do that? If we pass, and then if I feel that you need a bit of prompting, I'll do that.
Put that in another way, so I've got to get her clothes, yeah?
So what about as we carry on from now, I'll prompt you if it's necessary, but you try to make the decisions for the speed. That's not doing it either, is it?
How much help would you like from me now, Tony?
How much help would you like from me now, Tony?
Could I have a go on my own? That might make me feel a bit better at the end of the lesson.
You could have a go at your own, yes. So are you happy though, if I feel that you're not responding to the situation, to just give you a little prompt?
A little prompt.
A little reminder, maybe go a little bit faster, or maybe you should go a little bit slow if necessary, only if really necessary. I want you to try and make the decisions.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Exactly, so you're happy for me to just give you a little reminder if you're going a bit too fast in places, and tell you to slow down if necessary?
Yeah, I'd be happy for you to save my life.
Okay, well, that's fine then.
How would you do that?
How would I do that?
Yeah.
I would tell you to maybe you have to use your pedals if necessary, my pedals if necessary,
And what's that thing you got?
and tell you to stop or slow down.
Oh, you mean a verbal?
Verbal.
Oh, right, yeah.
Verbal.
Yeah.
I'm good at verbals,
Yeah.
normally.
Shall I drive one?
Yes, what do you need to check first?
Oh, sorry. I'm definitely cancelling this test. I'm definitely cancelling this test.
Why? Because I told you.
Oh, we're going back to
Okay, so when you're
my
ready,
second lesson now, isn't it?
when we're ready, I'd like you to move on.
Just out of roll. That was our instruction, wasn't
Yes, I'm good at that. I've even spent the whole week with my normal teaching trying not to instruct.
it? Sorry?
I've been spending the whole week with my other teaching trying not to instruct. over-instruct.
Straight on at both roundabouts.
Straight on at both roundabouts. Okay, excellent. Well done. So what do you feel here with the car, Tony?
Sorry?
What do you feel is happening with the car up that hill, Tony?
What car?
Your car.
That's alright for me.
Do you feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
It's not going to go bang, is it?
No. I was thinking more of the speed of the car coming up the hill. So
I'll do 26.
you are now.
I thought that was the right speed for the situation.
It is the right speed for the situation.
You know that t-shirt you were wearing last week?
Yes.
Lord, happy to keep my big mouth shut if I know what I'm talking about. And we're going to turn left.
If we turn left at the end.
Can I go there?
Do you think you can go?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Good.
I'm going to take the next road on the way.
Take the next road on the right, please. Okay, well done.
So just relax for a minute. I'll be at home watching the football today.
Who, me? Or
No.
everyone?
All the motorists. Your heart monitor going.
No, my heart's very relaxed.
Sorry?
My heart's well relaxed. It's normally me parking at the postage stamp, that whopping great car of mine.
I'll do on that. How'd I get on then?
I thought you did extremely well then.
Sorry?
I think you did very well, do you?
Yeah. Bit better.
It was a lot better. What do you mean a bit better?
Sorry?
How do you feel your progress changed then? You said you were 4.5 at the start of the lesson.
6.5 to 7.
6.5 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore you're feeling happier with it.
Yeah, how do I get to that 10 though?
How do you get to that 10?
Yeah.
Well, the main reason I think about getting to the 10 is to have more observation. So if you're looking further ahead in the road, you'll feel happier with your speeds.
You know what I think would make me feel better?
As if I didn't tell you.
Yeah. My wife never listens to me either. Yeah, you know what would make me feel really better?
Yeah.
If on the next lesson,
Yeah.
I had to go on my own.
Definitely.
Yeah?
I think we'll definitely do that in the next lesson.
Yeah, I just felt, I thought I was getting the hang of it there, and I just felt you were holding me back a bit,
Okay.
because I want to pass this test.
I want you to pass this test too.
129 lessons. I know it's not many, but I don't have another 129.
Okay, yeah. So next lesson, we'll definitely let you make decisions and see how you feel. If you want prompting, then I'll ask you if you want me to prompt you if I feel you need it. But if not, we'll let you take the whole decisions.
No, I'm going to aim for 10 next week.
You're going to aim for 10. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic aim.
Yeah,
So I'd like you to be 10, because then your test will be 3 weeks' time, won't it? For next lesson.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I suppose we could even have a little mock test next week, couldn't we?
We could have a mock test, yes. Would
Yeah.
you feel happy to have a mock test, yeah?
You got one of those mock test marking sheets, haven't you?
So, well, what about if we have practice at the start of the lesson, and then you can do a mock test, see how it's all put together.
I'll leave it to you, you're an instructor.
Okay? Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Yeah. I just do as I'm told, don't I?
You never do as you're told.
Well, just give me a minute to pause on camera.